When it comes to containment, do you really know why you're choosing plastic, metal or tray? Or is it just habit? Welcome back to the Professional Electrician YouTube channel. I'm Adam Steers from Soto Electrical, and today we have something a little bit different. This video is the first of a two-part series in conjunction with Marshall Tufflex, designed to help installers understand everything they need to know about cabling and trunking. In this episode, we're covering the essentials: planning, understanding the regulations, and some really important do's and don'ts which can make all the difference from a good installation and a bad one. In the second episode, we're going to dive deeper into choosing the right materials for each project. Plastic versus metal trunking, where each should be used, and why things like fire rating really matters. Today's job is an EV charging installation, and in this garage I need to install some trunking. Now, in this scenario, it's mainly for aesthetic reasons, but it gives me the perfect opportunity to demonstrate to you how containment should be planned and installed, even if it's a simple job. In environments like garages, surface trunking makes a lot of sense. It protects the cables, keeps everything neat, and allows easy access for future changes. On this job, I'm using Marshall Tufflex Maxi Trunking. It's a single compartment, mid-size PVC trunking system designed for routing, protecting, and organising cables in electrical installations. This is a good example of where plastic trunking is the right solution, provided it's sized, planned, and installed correctly. When carrying out jobs like this, things change all the time, as they have here. Originally, my plan was to run my trunking straight up and along here and out the top, but I cannot get my trunking below this gas pipe and above this one in a straight line. Can't do it, so the plan has changed. Now I'm running trunking across the top of the consumer unit, along here, then we're gonna go up and then across and along, which gives me the opportunity to show you some of the accessories that Marshall Tufflex offer with their trunking systems. I'll be using a couple of these angles today. These fire rated Firefly internal clips, when installed, look like that. I'll show you how they work in a bit. Internal and external bends. I brought more than what I needed today because I knew things would change. These end caps, and I'm going to be using these masonry screws here. So I'll be able to demonstrate how to install some of these bits and bobs for you, which will hopefully help you and you can apply on your future jobs. There are loads of different ways that you can cut trunking, including a hacksaw, a junior hacksaw, you can use a chop saw, or you can use a multi-tool like I am here today, just because I find I get nice straight cuts. So using a multi-tool gives you quite a nice clean finish, and I'll just use a deburrer just to tidy up those edges. And you get basically like a finished end. From a durability point of view, containment protects cables from impact, abrasion and general wear, which is especially important in garages and working spaces. From a safety perspective, trunking helps with mechanical protection, segregation and compliance of BS 7671. The way these fire clips work is they just slot inside the trunking. So you just pop it in like that. The fire clips not only slot in, but they clip in as well. Slide it to where you want it, and they're offset. So the offset sits in there, which means that's where you drill your hole, and that's where you put your fixing through. That stops premature collapsing because the plastic may well melt in a fire, but that is going to keep your cable, which passes through there, supported at all times in that unfortunate event of a fire. When you're installing containment, everything still has to comply to BS 7671. Trunking isn't just there to make things look tidy. The regs require cables to be properly supported, protect against mechanical damage, and installed in a way that avoids overheating. When it comes to the bends, you don't need to cut your trunking all the way to this part, otherwise you're going to enclose the cable route. So you want to cut it up to there, do a cross, and then your next cut measurement is from that point onwards up there, and then the same principle when we get up there. Segregation is another important point. Power and data circuits should not be mixed unless they're designed for it. With systems like this, a dividing fillet can be used to separate services when required, making compliance far easier. With EV chargers in particular, current carrying capacity and derating matter. When cables are enclosed in trunking and grouped together, heat can build up, reducing how much current the cable can safely carry. That's why cable size, trunking size and capacity all need to be considered at the design stage. Before you go cutting and fixing anything like I have here, the design and planning are key. Maxi trunking comes in a range of rectangle and square sizes, from 50 by 50 to 150 by 150 mil. And with that range makes it easy to decide on what trunking is suited for your installation. The way you choose the correct size of your trunking, you need to take into account the capacity and how many cables you are going to be running through that trunking. All of these things then roll on to your cable calcs. Generally, this trunking comes in a 3 meter length, and because of its rigid PVC U construction, it means it's durable. impact resistance, and holds its shape when installed. Planning your route is essential. I like to keep all my runs as straight as possible, which makes it easier to maintain. And I always allow for future capacity for extra cables. For this installation, I know my customer's thinking about battery and solar as well, and this trunk-in now has the capacity to hold those additional loads. The other thing you need to take into account is your bending radius. So with my cable here, it's going to bend nicely without any strain on the cable. And when you've got these fire rated clips in place, it makes it easy to feed your cables through and nothing falls out. So you can see there's no strain on that bending radius at all, which is why I've used 50 by 50. Any smaller and I'm putting too much stress on the cable. Now when I'm cutting the lid for the trunk-in, I'm making it shorter than the length of trunk-in because of the bends. And I'll show you what I mean now. Because this is PVC trunk-in, there are no bonding requirement. Once you move into metal containment, earthing and bonding becomes part of the design, which we'll cover properly in the next episode. Inside these bends, you have like these little sort of notches and they lock into the trunk-in. So you need to cut the trunk-in no further than up to that little mark there. So once you've knocked that on, this will also just pop on. From an installation point of view, compatible fittings like couplers, bends, T's and end caps make it straightforward to maintain route continuity and get a clean finish around corners and changes in direction. The snap-in mounting systems speed things up while giving a solid professional result. Best practice is still key though. Correct support spacing, respecting bending radius, consistent fixings and clear labelling all make a big difference to how the install performs over time. Fire safety shouldn't be overlooked either. Fire clips can be used with this system to prevent premature collapse during a fire, which supports the BS 7671 considerations. Common mistakes I see all of the time: overfilling trunking, especially, we've all seen that. Poor fire spacing, mixing services without segregation. You can turn this one into 2-compartment trunking also. And rushing the planning stages. Most of these problems are easily avoided by just slowing down and designing the installation properly. One of the questions I always wanted the answer to is, where do the materials come from? How is this trunking produced? Well, let me tell you. Sustainability is also becoming more important across a lot of projects. Marshall Tufflex Maxi Trunking is manufactured from 100% recycled PVCU, with all of the material originating from post-industrial window frame offcuts. It's a good example of choosing a product that performs properly on site while also reducing the environmental impact. That's my EV install finished and complete. Overall, I'm really happy how the Marshall Tufflex trunk-in has gone in today. It's solid, it's clean and well suited to the environment. In the next video, we're going to be looking at choosing the right containment materials, including metal trunking and the importance of fire-rated fixings. In the meantime, drop any questions in the comments below or let me know what other technical topics you would like covering. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Professional Electrician YouTube channel. As always, a pleasure to be working with a professional electrician on this project, and I'll see you on the next one.